entertaining, inspiration. Hood therapy, educating, entertaining, inspiration. Hood therapy, educating, entertaining, inspiration. Hood therapy, educating, entertaining, inspiration. Hood therapy, dose get a dose of the hood. Hood therapy, dose get a dose of the hood. Hood therapy, dose get a dose of the hood. Hood therapy, dose get a dose of the hood. Hood therapy.
Welcome. This is another edition of Hood Therapy TV. I'm your host, DH, none other. This was a topic I wanted to talk about because I was on vacation with my family, and I didn't have a cell phone service for the most part. So when I did have cell phone service, I would check my Instagram, and I scrolled across one of my friends' Instagram to find out that there was a tragedy happening in our home area in the Bay Area, the shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. And I'm watching, and I see that she has her and her son and stuff out there or whatever, and it was putting me on heightened alert. And I'd like to introduce, introductions. Dr. Courtney Thomas is on with us again or whatever, our local resident therapist, and my friend Yoshi Monroe. How you doing today?
Finding yourself?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Well, I'm gonna allow you to tell your story or whatever. I've known Yoshi for years now, and it sent me into a mode about just about this tragedy at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. First off, prayers and condolences to everybody who was there, and whoever lost anybody or was affected by it. My prayers and condolences go out to you, and I'm going to allow Yoshi to tell her story to you guys.
Can I real quick? I just want to say, it's a serious topic, but I think it's important that we be able to laugh and speak freely and still enjoy ourselves, and not to minimize the event, but I think that's part of the healing too. So if people hear the podcast, that we will be serious, but we also may laugh and talk too, because we still live and it's part of living life and moving forward and healing too. So
yes, yeah. This is all part of the healing.
Yep.
So excuse me if I get a little emotional, which I don't often do. Okay. Okay. But this event, I don't even know if to say if it was an event, but this thing that happened, it was just turmoil for me and my family, and my friend. It started out, the day was a beautiful Sunday. It was really nice. It just was happening at a spontaneous moment. My homegirl calls me and say, hey, what are you doing? I'm on my way to the festival. Me and my significant, we were discussing what we were going to do for the day. We're going to head out, and I'm sorry to say, but do ratchet things.
Ratchet activities.
And, be amongst our peers in Sacramento, on the water, and just do us like what we normally. But we was like, no, let's do something different. I've never been. Let's go to the Garlic Festival. Let's go on some low key stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was the intent. So this is about 2:00 when we make this executive decision to go to Gilroy. Mm-hmm. We get there about 3:30.
Okay.
It was a little traffic. We walk in. A couple of people ahead of us made it in without being checked or anything. And so my dude actually, he walked right on in too, to see it. And, I was like, wait, no, we have to pay. Let's not do that. We're not going to do that here. So, I had my Becky voice on. We're not going to do that here.
Yeah.
Come on.
The Becky voice.
So he, turns around and they didn't wind us down or anything. There was no search protocol. So I don't know what the media is telling you, but they were not searching anything. I had something similar, a sweatsuit on, a hat. my son, basketball shorts and t-shirt, and the same as my significant, he had a shirt on and basketball shorts. So, but still, you would think that you would search, regardless. There was no search. So we go in as normal. Our first go-to was we link up with my homegirl. She had this nice, cute little pineapple in her hand. So we're conversating, and we stop at this place for barbecue oysters, and then we were making our way to the pineapples where she had got hers, and so we got our oysters. We're there. We're enjoying ourselves. We are eating and we're walking and talking, and we make it to another booth. The area is called the Seafood Alley or something like that, or Garlic Alley. I can't remember. It's Alley something. And then so we were making our way around the festival, and we stopped and get us some other things to eat, and then my son went to do rock climbing, and he did it. We let him do it like 3 times, and we're just enjoying ourselves. And then we stop and get us some pineapples as well.
Yeah.
And so as we're heading back, we stop. We find the restroom and use the restroom, and then we sit down. We started having conversations between us 3, and then my son was playing around in the area. And I don't know, it was some reason they had a children's area, and usually I just let him go and go be free. He's 9 years old.
Big kid.
Yeah. But
you trust him.
But today I just felt different. I was like, no, just stay with us. I'm sorry, dear white people, but I was like, it's, we're not familiar with the area and the people, so just stay with us. We'll take you over there. And so as we were sitting down, the time lapse is about 5:40-ish, and we get up and we decide that we wanted to go try the alligator, which is actually back by the barbecue oysters.
So you was about to go get some food.
Yeah, we was
about to go taste that some more food.
Yeah, and because that's kind of like the idea
of the whole festival. Everything's got garlic implemented in it. So. Right.
And so as we're heading, my dude, he's just so prompt. I'm the late person, and he's like, "Come on, let's go." And I'm taking my time, moseling what I do, and so
he hurry your ass up probably.
Yeah, I'm like, we're chilling. Come on. He's so we got to be here in 2 minutes, and I'm like, wait, let's chill. Yeah, we're chilling. Yeah. And so he walks off ahead, and then my son follows. Yeah. And then me and my homegirls talking, and we're talking shit he's always doing this. Basically what I'm telling y'all, he's always rushing. What is this? So I hear. We walk, and I hear do. I look at my son, I look at him, I'm like, get down. Yeah. And run. It was automatic. I was like, get down and run. And so they still have these pineapples in their hand, and they're running. And so I turned to my left, which my homegirl was on the side of me. She's gone.
Yeah, she out.
She out. She's gone. I don't know where she's at. And I'm like, where? My mind is where the fuck is she running to? Can you curse?
Yeah, you can do what you say.
My head is where the
I want you to be yourself.
Okay,
this is too fucking late now.
Yeah, that shit. But in my mind, I was like, where the fuck are you running to? We don't know where the fuck we're at. Yeah. So I'm like, and so. And all this is happening in a matter of milliseconds. I'm thinking, what's going on? I'm running too. I'm getting low, running. And I just see my son and my guy running towards me. And so we connect, and we're running towards an area where we see, trucks is parked. And then we get behind this big old pickup truck. It's a black pickup truck. And my dude's like, okay, I'm going to go find an exit. I find my homegirl. I'm like, girl, get over here. What are you doing? Where are you going? She crazed, hair all over the place. She's like, oh my God, they're shooting. And so she says that, and here comes this white lady that works there.
Yeah.
nonchalant. Oh, that's just fireworks. Excuse my language, you guys. I was like, bitch, that ain't no motherfucking fireworks. Bitch,
Yeah,
I'm from the
bitch, I'm
hood.
from the
Like,
tail,
bitch.
bitch.
That is not no motherfucking fireworks. Bitch, you got me fucked up.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
down there about to fight this lady because I'm mad. Like,
Yeah, you trying to put it off like somebody ain't shooting.
right.
Yeah.
No, girl, this is fireworks. And then so, while we're trying to gather us together, and I'm waiting for my dude Melvin, he to bring to tell us where we're leaving and stuff. He comes back, and he finds the exit, and he's like, "We're going this way." And so as we're exiting, we see two white girls, I'm sorry, Caucasian girls or whatever, walk past, and one is holding her shoulder, and the other one's holding her head. It's blood everywhere. She
Damn.
got shot in the head, or grazed.
Grazed,
Excuse me.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's shot in the head,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And so, like, her hair was just put.
Yeah, all the blood was leaking.
She's holding it.
Yeah.
You could see the patch going, like.
Yeah.
And so my son seen that. You should see my son's face is like, oh my God, like.
Yeah.
And so we're walking, and as we're walking out, we're walking past Christmas Hill Park. I mean, you can see it in my video. And the other young man, the man that worked there, he was a worker. He was like, you know, that was a AK-47. He said. And so I was like, see, I knew it. It was a gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know. And then as we're walking out, we see another young man on the corner, holding his leg and his and something around his leg,
Wrapped up
because
yeah.
he got shot in the leg or the shin. And then as we were walking, you hear this truck, this pickup truck, turn around the corner, and I'm looking like, what is going on? And I walk up to the truck, and it's like this guy is in the back of the truck, and they're trying to resuscitate him, and I just lost it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like it's another confirmation that this shit was just really happening.
This was
like,
some shit that was brought to you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was, and then we hear some more shots, and then we start running.
Yeah. Now when the first shots rang out or whatever, like where in the vicinity of the shooter were you?
He was in front of the alligator, and we were like
that was where you was walking
that's
towards.
where we was
Yeah.
walking towards, and so had to be like at least 20 feet away.
Damn.
And my son was ahead of me.
With your dude.
My dude was ahead of my son.
Okay.
And then my son was like trailing behind him,
Yeah.
like a couple of feet, and it was just crazy. And then, you know, all I could think about and hear, you know, is like the lady that got shot. It was a lady got shot in her hand and her stomach, I believe, and her son, 6-year-old son, got shot as well. And I was just thinking that was me and Max.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so the second part of we heard the gunshots. We run around because we parked in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I guess because we didn't know no better. We didn't, you know, it was our first time there.
Didn't know if you had to pay for parking or nothing.
Yeah,
Trying to save a couple.
yeah,
And shout out to town business.
Right, and we didn't know that was
Yeah.
the best park that we had. 'Cause the parking lots was crazy. They were crazy far.
Especially after that.
It came crazy far, and so we're running, and as we're running to our car, which was parked on Plymouth Rock. Right?
Yeah.
So we're
Trying
like,
to get to Plymouth.
Right. So as we're running towards that way, we see a lady and her daughter. We see this family. I see this family, and I stop and ask them, like, are you guys okay? Do you guys need help? Where's your family? Do you guys need a ride? We're on our way to her car. And I could kind of tell, you know, she wasn't from here. She had an accent, but she's from the South. And her daughter just looked just like my son, like scared shit.
Yeah, scared shit.
And like don't know what's going on. They don't know how to process what's going on. They're just in trauma. And so while I'm trying to talk to them and, you know, figure out what's going on with them, my son just drops to the ground and bawls and start crying. And I immediately aid to him and pick him up, and I don't know. We're still, in run mode and trying to get to where you're going. And as we're running, this white family says, "Hey, we have a house right here. You guys can come in here for water, shelter, figure out where the rest of your family is, and things like that." So we not even thinking. We're just going, and we go into this family house. And my dude was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get the car, and I'll be right back." I said, "No, I'm coming with you. It's hella shit going on. I'm coming with you." And so, and I tell my homegirl, I say, "Hey, hang back, stay here with Max, and I'll be right back." And the family there, they standing there too. And so my homegirl was like, "No, I'm coming too."
Yeah.
And then so the family was like that we picked up along the way was like, "Oh, we coming too." I was like, yeah, "Okay, well, let's go."
Team us, we out of here.
Yeah, we'll stick together.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're not, thank you. People
How long did all this take place? How long all this last?
Oh, it went really quick. I want to say it was at least a good 10 minutes of just trying to get to the car from the time of the shooting to get in the car. At least 10 minutes.
10 minutes of panic ain't quick. That's a lot of.
Well, because we stopped into the house and then If you see the map, it was really far. So we was trying to figure out where we parked and how to get there, and it was just a lot.
Yeah.
Like at what point did y'all feel safe? You know what I'm saying? Where you thought, okay, this is over. Like, how do you even know it's over?
The point where we feel safe, well, for me, is when we was on the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
When we was on the freeway.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of here.
Yep.
Back to the town.
Gone.
Back to the hood.
Right.
The hood was the safe place for you, right? At that point.
Yeah, and my dude is kind of familiar with that area, so he knew because it was a lot of traffic, and he knew another back street.
Yeah, like a main street or something.
A back street to go on. I was like, no, we need to stay on the main road.
But now you stuck in traffic of panic and everybody trying to get.
Well, that's fine too.
Yeah.
We can ride the shoulder.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be back here with no phone service. And I'm cool.
Yeah.
That's just how I was thinking. Oh no, I need to be the safest way.
Yeah, take this ticket. I ain't tripping off no ticket.
Right.
Yeah.
We riding the shoulder.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm not doing no back streets in Gilroy.
Yeah.
That's out.
And like he was saying or whatever, it was a short time per se, but it's really not though. That's you fighting for 10 minutes.
Right.
A 10-minute fight is a long ass fight.
Yeah, I was out of breath.
Yeah, professional fighters don't fight for 10 minutes straight.
Right at all.
They fight for 3 minutes rounds and then they take a break.
We had that break in between the initial run, and we stopped and we was trying to figure out where we was
but you had
going.
a break in your physical activity, but not your mental activity.
No, not at all.
The 10-minute, that's what he's talking about. The 10
yeah, that was over.
The adrenaline.
Yeah,
the adrenaline is still pumping. You're still trying to figure out, is this over? Did it stop?
Yeah.
Right, you see my video? I was
because when I seen the video or whatever, I'm like, because literally I took a cruise or whatever, so you got to pay for the Wi-Fi. I was on my little shit too. I ain't about to pay for this Wi-Fi when I get here or whatever. Cut my phone on, post a couple pictures, whatever, this and that, blah blah blah. I was looking at
what's on the gram.
Yeah, I'm saying, see what's on the gram. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the live. I see them on like, oh, they rock climbing and shit. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Cool. I see the little you know what I'm saying? You were like it. It looked like I seen it was the Garlic Festival. It didn't look like you was in Jack London or nothing, rock climbing and shit or whatever. Then it was like a post from rock climbing to oh my gosh type, you running and you know what I'm saying? I seen the shit with the men in the back of the pickup truck, they trying to resuscitate them type stuff or whatever. It was like, hold on, wait a second, what's going on or whatever. Right. So then it's now I'm looking, Google searching, what's going on,
it nobody knew, and maybe pull out my camera because I'm thinking they're gonna try to cover this up.
Yeah.
Because it's the white people area. They're gonna try to mask us as something different. Yeah. And I feel like I need to, if something happened to me, somebody needs to know what's going on for real. And it's just crazy. My son, just having my son in the midst of that, I was just in mode, protection, protect,
And maybe the lady who the other family seen your ability to be dealing with that, and she needs you to latch on to that. And like in certain instances or whatever, everybody need that. Like, because I might have been the person not knowing what the fuck to do. You feel me? Like nobody knows how they're gonna react until you put in that situation type thing.
That's definitely true. And my dude and my son was still holding on to these damn pineapples. I'm like, throw the damn pineapples. Throw the damn pineapple. My dude, like, he was still by the truck. He had his. And after I told him to throw it away, I was like, throw the damn pineapple down.
Hell no, this shit good.
Get some comfort right now. Shit,
he was holding on to that.
Garlic flavored pineapple juice.
But that's messed up though. Like you're worried about the incident, but then like there is no greater sense of safety beyond that, because you like, is somebody gonna cover this up? Are they gonna try to brush it under the rug? Like you don't trust nothing in that moment.
Yeah.
Even if my life ain't in danger, I don't trust the people that's supposed to be coming to help us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to do the right thing.
Yeah, because the first thing the lady said, those were fireworks.
But she isn't. I guess you'll say. Us growing up in the hood, we privy to more gunshots. Like we know if it's a gunshot, fireworks and stuff like that or whatever. Like I be sitting in the shop or whatever. They let an M80 off across the street. Man, them niggas playing with the fireworks or whatever. You feel me? With the boom, boom, boom. Like a slight, you'll hear a slight like, man, y'all heard that? You feel me? Like you be like, you heard that? I'm like, nah, that ain't no fireworks. There's somebody over here getting off. You feel me? Like, and you be sitting there and it's sort of fucked. It's fucked up because like how we always say or whatever, we are placed in this environment to always be on high alert for shit or whatever, and that's why we all are traumatized from the shit that goes on in the hood.
Right.
Like we were talking the other day. Like for the most part, we lose some of our closest friends to gun violence at a young age. And it's hard for kids to process, like my friend gone. You feel me? Like it's fucked up how we have to grow up.
Yeah, it is, and you know, it's unfortunate that I'm more so like worried about my son because he's a young black man.
Yeah.
And you know, so now where we live at, my son has seen a dead body already.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like,
and he's lived through an actual terroristic attack.
Yeah.
Like, and Max is 9.
Max is 9.
Max is 9 years old, and that's never going to be taken out of, like, you know what I'm saying? He was a survivor of the Gilroy Garlic Festival. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are survivors of the Gilroy Garlic Festival or whatever, and that's something his grandkids will know. Like, man, like no matter, you thought you were going to be safe because you went to the white people's event. You feel me? Like, this is the safest place on earth. This is fucking Disney
Our
World.
guard is
Yeah,
down.
this fucking Disney World. And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, so that's the thing. Like, you know, I work for the Department of Public Health in San Francisco, and we do trauma response, right? And so, like, and you see, like, black folk, like, we be like, man, I've been through that, I done heard shooting, right? But it's different when you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
It's different when, you know what I'm saying, you're going somewhere to enjoy yourself, to relax. Your mind isn't prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you thinking, okay, I done left where it's dangerous, where I need to be watching my back or whatnot have you. So now I can have my guard totally down, whether I'm at work or at an event. And I'm telling you, the mind isn't just prepared to switch like that. Yeah. And it does send you in the kind of a panic, whether you done seen guns before, whether you've been around gunshots or not. Black folks we not immunized from being damaged by this kind of stuff too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you didn't seen everything in the hood, whatever. But this moment it was bigger than anything you ever seen. Like that was.
It was. I mean, like it's no words that I can describe that could tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
And I've thought I've been through it all, you know, and when it comes to the point where like, damn, like something else.
Yeah.
This, you know, I thought I was at a point in my life where I don't have to worry about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to say too, like, no matter whether it's something like this or something in the hood, right? Wherever you're going through something, like, we got to be able to talk about this kind of stuff, right? Because, you know, what we understand is that the word, we call it trauma.
Yeah.
Right now, and we've heard that word before, but trauma really is like when something too big happen to you and you can't all make sense of it at one time, and it stick with you. Like it don't you can't just shake it off. You know what I'm saying? Like that becomes trauma, and if you don't address that, it builds up. Like if you break your arm and don't really get the right care, it'll heal where you could use your arm again, but it ain't gonna be quite right.
It's not gonna be the same.
It ain't gonna be the same. And so I think I really want to applaud you for coming here and speaking, because that's so healthy, right? I have clients that were at the Gilroy Festival, and I've talked to other folks, and a lot of folk can't even speak words to it. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I don't want to talk about that, right? And that's part of how it can develop an unhealthy kind of avoidance of it, and how you in a bad place, and how you nervous all the time. So I mean, I just want to applaud you for coming and speaking openly about this issue.
Thank you. I know, and that's as hard as I try to portray to be.
You so tough enough.
So I was getting ready to go. I had to be at work at like 4 a.m, and I was getting ready to go to work, and then it just like beat me up, and I was just like, I can't go. Yeah, I can't go, and more so as I'm worried about my son, because I have my son, and I'm a single mother. You know, his dad is in prison, and so I'm worried about him and the effects that this is going to have, and so it's a lot to carry, and so I just fell back on my bed, and I was like, I called my boss, like, I can't make it. Yeah. And he was
now,
like,
did your boss know you were at the festival yesterday?
No, he didn't know. Okay. I called back and told him later on, because I was still processing. Yeah. You know, and then, you know, it was funny is that my dude, he's a tugboat engineer, and so as we're on that back road that I told him to get off of, he calls his boss, and it's like, I won't be able to come in. I was just in at the Gilroy Festival, and he was like, so I don't give a fuck. And so it hung up.
You know what it was? It hasn't hit the news yet. So like him saying that to his boss or whatever, his boss now look back at that conversation like, niggas, you all right? You feel me? Like, hold on, man. Right. I didn't mean to say, you don't think I didn't mean to lessen your pain or whatever. I just did. You don't know because y'all are dealing with this situation live and in color. Right. We gotta wait for the news. We gotta wait for a report to be out. We gotta wait for the breaking news. If you're not watching TV, you ain't gonna see the breaking news across the TV screen. Right.
But we don't respect mental health in general, though. I mean, I don't get on the soapbox. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you got an injury, right? You saw I broke my foot when I was running at the thing. Yeah. People will be like, oh, okay. But if I say I'm stressed, or I ain't sleeping. All right, you know what I'm saying? They trying to tell you get over it. They minimize that, so you got to fight for your mental health because people don't honor that.
Like, is you dead?
Right. Show up. Yeah. Your body work. Right, come up in there.
Right. And that's what I'm learning also, or whatever. Like, being a father or whatever, I would tell my kids sometimes, man, you get over it or toughen up. You know what I'm saying? And not it be a little bit deeper than just getting over stuff.
No days off.
Yeah, no. You know, we got 1,000 sayings to be tough. Right. But we ain't got no sayings to really like take a day off. You feel me?
Right.
That saying doesn't sound as good.
No, you know and it's funny that you mentioned mental health because a friend of mine, so an old friend of mine, she used to let her kids stay home and say, "You could take a mental health day." Yeah. And I used to be like, "What? They don't get mental health days. They need to go to school." Yeah. You know. But now I understand that.
Yeah. Like, definitely. That is. I don't know, man. And since the Gilroy Garlic Festival, we've had 2 other incidents, right, in America,
and that's crazy. And you know, back to what he was saying about how I was able to talk about it. Yeah. So immediately I was thinking about my son and the trauma that he's been through and the turmoil that he's been through in his 9 years of living, and I sent him to. I took him to Children's and to speak with someone, and to get help. And she also commended me and for bringing him. I was like, I'm thinking for the health of my son. Yeah. And so she was just saying like, well, because I didn't notice it until she said it. She's like, you have to turn off the news station.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. And I don't normally watch TV anyway, so it's just like I was listening to the radio station. My guy, he listens to this corny station, 106.9. I don't know if you guys.
106.9.
Yes, you don't even know what that is, right? Yeah, it's a corny station.
This the competition. Yeah. Fuck them. Shit. It's not Hood Therapy TV. Shit.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
106.9. Like,
We got to start talking like that. Who is them? No, I don't know them niggas. No. My shit locked. Hood Therapy TV. That's it. That's all I got.
And so it just talks about trafficking news and stuff. And usually I get in the car and turn it to 106.1 or 102.9. But the next day, Monday, I'm listening to 106.9. I'm all on my phone and KTVU, and I'm tapped into it. I'm glued to it. And when I took him to therapy, the therapist said, because I had him home. He was home with me listening to all this stuff, and I'm talking to him about it. And she's like, you have to turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it's going to keep you reliving the moment. And so that's what I had to turn it off.
The word I really want to speak to, right? Because everybody I've talked to that was there or, you know what I'm saying, involved in some way, people be worried about other folk they was with. Everybody I've talked to has, like, I don't know if black folk, we think we tough, you know what I'm saying? We be like, I can deal with it. We be worried about our kids or our loved ones. We got to also worry about ourselves. Because even that worrying about other people, right, we got to take care of ourselves. And the word I'm going to say to you and if anybody listening is self-care.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we have to intentionally do stuff to take care of ourselves, right? Even when we feel like, well, I ain't fell apart and my kid need me more than this or my partner need me more than that, you know what I'm saying? So I just do and do and do. That it still has an impact. Like, I still got to make sure I take myself to go laugh or take myself to go for a walk or whatever I'm into. Like, we must take care of it. The world is too crazy. The world is too difficult, right? We must be intentional about, like, self-care. So with that said, what have you done for your self-care, ma'am, since all this happened?
I just comb my hair. I just comb my hair today.
It makes me feel good.
Right.
Yeah, I just combed it today. It's not all the way done yet. But so like reflecting to that and what was not normal for me, I was in pajamas. I was walking all around Oakland in pajamas, and then I had told my son, like, before we went to the hospital, I was still in my pajamas. I said, Max, what I said? I said, go brush your face and wash your teeth. He said, what, Mom, brush your face? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh yeah, something's wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And then when I revisit the therapist the following week, she said, oh, you look much better. I was like, yeah, I guess I was pretty much out of it because I was in pajamas all day, and I'm the type of woman that you gotta go walk outside with some shoes on, and you gotta have some clothes on when you walk outside. I don't care what kind of clothes, but you ain't walking outside in pajamas. Yeah, that's my kids. You can't go nowhere in pajamas. Yeah, that's a little ratchet. And so
they can't see the ratchet. You know what I'm saying? I gotta surprise them with the ratchet.
Right. So that for me it was like, whoa, like something's wrong. I've been in pajamas all day. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
It really has an effect on me.
Ain't no standard reaction to trauma, right? It can happen in any way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your brain is just processing. It won't be till a week later that you're sitting when shit stop. Like, when somebody passed away and you lose a loved one, you be going through the funeral stuff and doing all the moving, and it ain't till like the week later that when everybody stopped being like, are you okay? Are you okay? That you be not okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that. Like, am I not... The things I would say in terms of warning signs, to be mindful of, am I not leaving the house? Am I not eating? Basic stuff, right? And what are my sleep habits like? Right? Am I avoiding situations that I used to? Things like that. I'm not saying you're falling apart, but we have to be looking for warning signs that, wait a minute, I ain't kicked back into my normal life. I've not been able to. And not that something's wrong with me. I just probably need to get a little bit of help.
Yeah.
All right.
And talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody, because you can't hold everything on your shoulders. Like,
well, I'm talking to y'all today.
Yeah, you telling us, and then like he said, I commend you for this or whatever. And it's good to have this dialogue and conversation or whatever, because like it's it gets it off your shoulders too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people hold stuff in so much and I can't talk to you about this. I can't talk to you about this. But get it off your chest or whatever. Sometimes, like I tell my kids or whatever, man, I had to grow. I had to tell them you can't always be tough or whatever.
Right.
Man, get it off your chest, man.
Right.
Say it off. If you got something to say to me, just say it.
Well, you know, when you first asked me, and I was like, oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I was a bit hesitant, like, I was like, okay, I could do it.
Yeah. Then I was like, hey, man,
I tried to deflect it on some other people. I was can I bring one?
I was like, really, just you? Because I know Cree ain't gonna be shit, man. Come on.
Dang, hit me with the Cree.
Yeah. Excuse me, Yoshi Monroe.
Thank you.
Marilyn Monroe's little sister. You know her half black baby. You know what I'm saying? No. But I'm like, man, you know, whatever. We gonna be able to have a conversation and a dialogue whenever. And you know, I got love for you or whatever. So it's like when you feel me, I was like, hold on, man, little Max, what's up with Max or whatever? Yeah. Like, you feel me?
And that's the trip, you know. And then that's another piece of it. You like, dang, who's my real friends?
What's your support system?
Yeah, like, where's my support? No.
Yeah, that's a support system.
I was like, did anybody hit me? No. Okay. Well, you ex.
But you know, you appreciate. I don't mean to talk too much, but you appreciate hood therapy, right? Because everybody don't want to come in office one-on-one. Yeah. Right, I get that. You know, so I'm expensive to talk to one-on-one. I totally understand that, right? So everybody don't necessarily need one-on-one therapy, but I think especially for black folk, we do need to be able to express ourselves, be able to laugh, to be able to come together. You know what I'm saying? We're communal people, right? And so I appreciate having other meetings for people to talk about stuff like this, that people that wouldn't come into a therapy session can watch a podcast and hear people talk about mental health and how to get over trauma. Because, I mean, again, this was a horrible thing that happened. But the way our country works, this ain't the last time it's going to happen. You've seen it happen twice since then. Right? Like, you got to almost prepare yourself to be able to deal with stuff like this in life.
You definitely got to prepare yourself.
Yeah, and that was the thing about other terrorist attacks or whatever. It wasn't at my doorstep. So, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, man, they tripping or it happened there. They ain't going to come out here with that bullshit. Right. That's one thing about, they ain't going to come out here with that bullshit, but
they did.
They came out here with that bullshit.
They did.
Yeah, they came out here with that bullshit. And, like, you know, it is when it's at our doorstep, it's different. Yeah.
Right.
It's not like and that's the other, okay, what were the signs to lead this man? It's got to be some signs or whatever about his family, about somebody to do this or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, I know I don't know in media. I don't know if what I heard is that the grandfather was having issues too. Like they said he was going to court in regards to messing with his granddaughter. Wow. So I mean, but then on one segment it was saying that this is a good family from Gilroy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like I've been going back and forth. Me and my dude have been having conversations about like where is it coming from, and he want to blame Trump and things like that. And I'm like, this is not Trump. I'm sorry, this is not Trump. This is the foundation that he was built on. Yeah. You know, it's something that was rooted in him. For his family wise. But
if you look at it, this be kids, right? All these things been like little 20-year-old white kids, right? Like, pay attention to your kids. Right. Like, these kids had signs that these parents ignored or wasn't looking at it, be like, he just standoffish. Be in your kids' life, be engaged, know what they doing, right? Know what they putting in their brain, whether it's rap music, whether it's websites that have all type of crazy stuff out there. Like,
I'm nosy.
Be nosy with your kids.
Pages.
Because they feeding their mind this stuff. Whatever they feeding their mind, that's what they're gonna put out there.
Right. And we were talking about, so what do we do now? How do we prepare for?
Have you been to any other events or anything like that?
You know, that was the crazy part. We went to Seoul, Oakland. Okay. And the whole time I'm at Seoul, Oakland, I'm looking at security. I'm looking at cops. I'm looking at who's coming in. You see a white person, he's a shooter.
It's yeah.
You know, it's not funny, but we're like, did y'all extra check him? You know,
Yeah.
like, is he coming to shoot up black people? Like, what's
But
going
that's
on?
the same. That's the same scenario when they told us that the Muslims or the Islamic people were the terrorists or whatever. Now you see Islamic people are terror. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like on the planes and stuff or whatever. The comedian had a joke or whatever about, did you check dude's turban? You feel me?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that or whatever. It's engraved in your mind because you lived it or whatever.
Right.
It's engraved in our mind as a people because they're telling us this is a terrorist. A terrorist to you now is
A white person.
a white person, 20-year-old white man. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? What's wrong?
He was 19.
Yeah, nice.
He was
A
19.
kid.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you looking a little different at young white men now.
Right.
Yeah,
I know I am.
yeah.
I know what a dangerous black person look like. I know what that look like. I'm used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like a white person, I'd be like, I just kind of don't even pay them attention like that. But now you do be like, oh, he look awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he getting pussy? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that's a real fact. Like,
Right.
well,
Is he sheltered? Like,
yeah, is he
but
sheltered? Yeah.
How's it so easy for him to go get a AR?
he's
whatever?
a white.
Like,
He's a white male. Like he's a white male NRA probably whatever. Like, like you know what I'm saying, he's a white male. Like they look at you differently. If you walk into the store, they gonna look at you different.
Right.
Period. A white male, hey, how's it going, Corey? You know what I'm saying? Do you need help with your bags? You know what I'm saying? He probably stole all the shit, but they helping him with the bags outside. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Like they that's just this system. The system.
That's how we're trained.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
fucked
and
up.
we have to train different, and it's like, what is the right way? Like, how do you, like, do I give Max a gun to protect himself? Like, those are things that we're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And Max, he's 9 years old or whatever. Like you just gotta keep asking him questions, keep talking to him or whatever, keep engaging him in things or whatever, sports and talk to him and be in his business. Shit,
I'm in all my kids' business.
your nosy ass.
I'm all on that gram and Snapchats and Twitters and all that.
Huh?
They're making bulletproof hoodies now and everything. Is that something you would consider getting your son?
Bulletproof hoodies.
A bulletproof hoodie.
They're making bulletproof hoodies now for kids. They're making bulletproof backpacks. Is it at that point now where you would put your child like in a bulletproof backpack to keep them safe?
I definitely would, like, if that's the option, like,
Yeah.
because I gotta train my kid to be safe. And you know, we was having a conversation with Max, like, what do you do if somebody comes shooting in your classroom?
Yeah.
You know, and that's a hard conversation. And he said, duck and cover. You know, he still got the light voice. Duck and cover.
Mm-hmm.
Pull a chair under. I'm like, damn, that's all my son could do. It makes you want to take him out of public school.
But see, it's once again we thinking it's public schools. It's not just public schools. It's a bad seed that wants to do damage can be anywhere. They was
but
just at the Gilroy Garlic
Yeah,
Festival.
but he not gonna be at home.
Who?
The bad seed.
No. Okay, I get
Like
you.
homeschooling your kids,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
Oh,
at the
you mean
crib.
homeschooling? Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Put a little bulletproof vest on you, a
But-
little bulletproof backpack.
Yeah.
Show you how to work a pistol, and here's a math book. So now,
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, I don't know the answer, and I'm not even about to try and address
Right,
the
but
answer.
those are
Yeah.
the conversations
Yeah,
that we're
yeah.
having. Like, what do we do to prepare? How do we try to prep ourselves for those type of things? Like, do we stop doing what our normal is? Like,
I mean, you went through a trauma or whatever, so some of your routine it will definitely change.
Right.
Like you said about like you at the Soul Oakland Festival or whatever, and you looking at white men or whatever, you're not even enjoying the festival.
right.
You feel me? Like
I'm on security. Like,
yeah,
I'm
like
a security
y'all,
guard.
y'all could have paid me $25 an hour right now.
Right.
You feel me? Like it's gonna be naturally in you though. But you went through something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like whenever we go through something or whatever, it's gonna change our future self. Like
Yeah.
it's just definitely gonna change our future self or whatever. Like
how do I feel safe again?
Yeah, that's pretty much how do I keep my kids safe? How do I
Yeah.
keep my family safe?
And is that even possible? Like, is that a real thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, not really. There's no way to really guarantee
there's no way.
nothing will ever happen again.
And
you know?
if y'all ain't seen, it's been more and more videos up of just the cops pulling guns on people and stuff now. Like it's really like basic traffic stops has now turned into guns being pulled on us or
Right.
whatever. You know, so it's like you get pulled over or whatever, you telling yourself, oh shit, this might be my last time ever on this earth.
Right.
And a lot of these. Oh, that's what question I did have. Excuse me. Let me stop myself or whatever. How long was it the police to react to this whole shooting or whatever, or was it the event staff that was there? Because they came out that they shot him. Was it the police or the event staff?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, the last sighting of the police I seen when we were sitting down at the table having our conversation, they were on horses.
Okay.
And the horses went to, we were sitting, they went to the right, and maybe like a good, like, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later, that's when the shooting happened.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I didn't see any police.
Okay.
When I was running, I'm running.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
I didn't see any police. I didn't see any police down my street that I was running to my car. Nothing. I would, we would think the police it would have been mounds and mounds of police. Yeah. Not only at the festival, but barricading different areas. When we were leaving, 'cause I told you we parked in a residential area. They still had the event staff, like doing the traffic.
Yeah.
The police didn't take over. Like they were still.
So the event staff was still directing y'all and stuff.
Directing traffic.
Man, shout out to them, man, because I would have quit.
Right.
Like, hey, man, I'm not. Hey, man, check it out.
Let's take a funny. We pulled up to drop my homegirl off to her car because she parked in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And the kids was like, go this way. I said, y'all better go. Did y'all not know somebody's shooting? They could still be here.
Yeah,
They haven't caught everyone.
Yeah, man.
And so and then it was amazing to me how far these parking lots was. Like it was miles and miles away. Like the family we had to drive at least almost like 10 miles to get to her car.
Damn.
They had shuttle buses driving them. So I think they said they still have cars still in that area because
people left their cars.
Yeah, and they're not allowing people to get to the cars because they're trying to figure out because there's another shooter.
Yeah.
Who's the other shooter or what's going on? Where they at?
Damn. It's just, I'm sorry you went. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here to be able to speak about your tragedy or whatever. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry Max had to go through that. And man, my prayers are with y'all. And like anybody else who was affected by the Gilroy Garlic Festival, Cretia was one of the people that I knew there or whatever. But I know it was a lot of Oakland people that were there or whatever. And I mean, what I would say is, man, talk to somebody, go seek some therapy, go seek something for your kids, go seek somebody to talk to because, like she said, she wasn't her normal self after this happened. And a lot of y'all might not even be seeing the signs of you not being your normal self or whatever. But if you catch yourself falling out your norm or whatever, you might need to go holler at somebody and talk to somebody.
Definitely. I think I don't have nothing bad to say about therapy. I don't know if it's not working, but you need to talk to whoever. And and I thank you that you made this platform so I can talk to you guys and tell everyone my story, my son's story.
There's power in your story. It's power in Max's story. It's just power in it.
It was a hell of an experience. Like it's crazy. I don't wish no one to be in that. And it's like you still thinking like who can you trust? Like can I trust? Can I go outside of? Can I take my son to other places and experience things? And, those things that we have to conversate and think about what's our next thing to do, or do we just stay at home in our own backyard? Has Max
been to any other events? Did he go to the Soul Club with you?
No, I wouldn't take him.
Yeah. He hasn't. Let me ask you this: has he been asking to go places or anything?
No, Max don't talk that much. So
Yeah.
he Fortnite out.
Fortnite.
3 million.
Fort-
3 million up for grabs. You better get that Fortnite.
Yeah, hey, man, you do your homework. No. Yeah, man. Any parting words?
Nah. Again, much respect for sharing your story.
Thank you.
And I think in general, man, whether it's the Gilroy Garlic shooting or just stuff going on in the hood, man, like that stuff has an impact, right? We can't walk around with that. That shit is not normal. That creates trauma, and that creates just us carrying our frustrations in an unhealthy way. And so I really, everybody, like you said here, like speak, talk about it, express yourself, get out, party, enjoy life. And please, 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 the word of the day is self-care. Take care of yourself also. Because if you fall apart, everybody else going to struggle. So please, if you take this moment, we telling you right now, next time he see you, I want him to ask you, what did you do for your self-care? And it better be something more than you brush your hair.
Something more than brushing your hair.
All right?
So,
All right.
That's your therapy. That's your hood therapy homework
Okay.
for the day.
your
Thank you.
homework, yeah.
All right?
Was about to say, that self-care is very important or whatever. Because if you crumble, everybody seeing around you that you holding up, gonna see that. You feel me?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to, you take care of yourself. You know, sometimes you just gotta go ahead and, man, fuck it, I'm about to go do this or whatever. You feel me? Go do this real quick or whatever. I don't want to do that. So what? I want to do it.
Wow.
So this is what I'm about to go do. You go watch my gram. Shit, I'm about to go fuck around.
Hood therapy.